All right, we've talked about some wild patents here before, right? Especially on the lead up to the PS5. Some of it had to do with the DualSense, possibly being able to tell how you are doing in terms of your heart rate or sweat detection when you're playing maybe a horror game, for example. The heart rate starts to go up a bit as you're having jump scares happen or you're getting nervous while you're trying to beat that final boss, and then somehow the game could react to that, right? Talked about the digital assistant that appears anyway to becoming more and more of a reality with a microphone being installed natively on that DualSense controller. Makes sense to have something like that for an assistant that you might call on. So we'll keep an eye on that one. I do think that's something that they will be unveiling as a feature for the system. So naturally, when a very strange patent pops up that Sony has been working on for some time now and has become public very recently, I wanted to go over it because it is so strange. But you never know right now with some of these patents. Now, again, it is a patent. We don't know if it will ever become anything, but it's certainly something that Sony is working on, which could kind of give us an idea as their direction going forward with some of this stuff. So if you enjoy these videos, looks on patents and all this stuff, guys, make sure you like the video before you head out. So let's talk about what Sony is working on here. This was an article brought to my attention. It's over on Game Rant, and there were a few other places that also covered it, but I'll link to the patent itself straight up so you can check it out if you want. But it says Sony patents strange robotic companion for gaming. And when I thought about this, I said, oh, a companion, maybe they are patenting like their own Siri, kind of, right? But it'll take more of a physical form, like you're playing a game and it can pop in from the corner of the game or something if you're having a hard time and be like, oh, I'll help you. I'll look that up. It's like the paperclip from Microsoft Word. Remember that in Office back in the day where the paperclip would pop up and try to help you? Something like that. Sony would create their own character, essentially. That's not necessarily what this is. It goes a bit further than that. So this is something else. Apparently, let's scroll down here so I can show you in picture form. This is figure 2 from the patent. The idea here is that you would have a robotic companion like in person next to you that would hang out and be able to react to any emotions that it can detect. And I'm not even kidding. Like they want this robotic figure. The thing they're showing here that kind of looks like this little puffball is certainly a placeholder. Like that's not what it would actually look like almost like a little pillow with arms and legs there. No, it would probably look like something else. They made that dog kind of recently, right? The little robot dog. Maybe that's what it is, and that's just a placeholder there. And this is something they were considering working on for that dog to be able to interact while you are playing a game. But it's a robotic companion that will be able to detect language. So whatever you're saying, I guess if you are cursing up a storm at your TV, it'll recognize that you're probably not doing the best in the game and try to maybe console you. Maybe it can try to help you by pulling up a guide for what you're doing, maybe. And then I guess when it detects your excitement through I guess language or tone of voice, or maybe you're getting up and jumping up and down or something while you're playing a game, it will become happy and start celebrating alongside of you. Now I went ahead and took a look at the patent itself, and it appears to have been made public April 16th, and it was noticed just today, actually, and it was filed a while ago, April 25th, 2018, and then we even have it listed at one point in 2017 for the application date. It's been in the works for a bit, and it seems like Sony has been kind of working on it, but it's been recently made public, which could mean a few things. It could mean that they're going forward with it, but most likely it means that they're not going to do anything with it. Maybe it was too crazy of an idea for current times, like to get this worked out, because like it sounds like they want an AI that will deduce how you yourself are feeling through emotion. It says a feeling deduction unit 100 deduces a user's feeling. An internal state management unit 110 manages an internal state of an object, an internal state of a user on the basis of the deduced user's feeling. So the idea is, yes, it would be able to detect emotion through a ton of different variables that it's been designed to understand. Like look at number 26 here. The feeling deduction unit 100 deduces the user's feeling on the basis of the outputs of various sensors and data from an external server. The feeling deduction unit 100 deduces the user's feeling by deriving an evaluation value for each of feeling indexes such as joy, anger, love, and surprise. In the embodiment, the user's feeling is expressed by a simple model, and the feeling deduction unit 100 deduces the user's feeling from 3 evaluation values: good feeling, positive feeling; bad feeling, negative feeling; and neither good nor bad feeling, so like a neutral. Note that in a practical use, each of positive and negative may be subdivided into plurality of stages, allowing fine evaluation values to be derived. I mean, they really spent some time on this patent here. There's a lot of detail around this companion being able to even learn and figure out basically your habits as you are playing games, and when it would essentially become better at knowing when you're actually excited, maybe even like when you're being sarcastic to the game, that you're getting mad at it, right? It is, I don't know, I guess it's creepy, right? I mean, it's kind of interesting to consider having that, but it probably would become fairly creepy over time, right? As this companion becomes more and more human-like. It's so strange to consider Sony having the idea of a companion next to you that would learn with AI that calls to a server, because this appears to have to be connected to a network, as it does talk about going back and forth for servers with some of its values. It would be collecting data from you as well with how you feel through emotions. So it is strange. It really, really is. But it's something that Sony has considered. And you know what's really interesting is, I said we don't know everything about that DualSense controller, and I'm still sticking with that. I think there is a few extra little bits. I think there's a reason we haven't seen the underside of that DualSense controller. They gave us like a shot from like the side sort of, and like the top kind of, but not the bottom of it at all. And I feel like there's probably a sensor that's under there or two for like your hands where you're holding it, because I actually kind of think that the DualSense will be able to read like heart rate or some other information. I'm leaning more towards that being an actual reality with the controller. And what if that, for example, that dog companion thing that Sony released can pair to the PlayStation 5, and it uses the DualSense to not only read like your heart rate, perspiration, all that, but then you have this companion next to you that can read like your language and tone and understand how you are feeling, and it all gets put together for how it reacts to you. Oh man, this is getting weird, isn't it? Now, again, it's a patent. You never know what could come out of this. Maybe nothing, but it is interesting to see Sony thinking about this and developing. That is a long patent. There is a lot of information there. It is probably one of the strangest patents I've seen in a long time from a company. So I'll leave a link down below if you want to read through it. There's a lot of stuff there, but let me know what you guys think about the idea of you getting a companion that can learn about you and be able to celebrate with you or get mad with you or try to console you if something's not going your way in a game. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.